It's not just Rob that's suffered this week because unfortunately, Alex, our cameraman, nearly got sacked.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
Honestly.
You could strangle him, couldn't you?
And also Tim injured himself quite severely.
Bloody hit myself in the face.
Accident book. Accident book.
Does this book mean I can't sue you now?
Correct.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to my second-hand car dealership here in the UK and welcome back to another weekly update. And this week has been another interesting one because we've had some pretty bad fails in here this week. As usual, some victories, some cars bought, some cars sold and a bit of industry news for you today. So what we're going to do is dive straight in with the nitty-gritty, the stuff that's gone wrong in here because I know that you find that the most interesting. I'm getting used to YouTube now and you want to see Rob suffer. Well, it's not just Rob that's suffered this week because unfortunately, Alex, our cameraman, nearly got sacked. I'm going to talk you through that in a second. And also, genuinely, and also Tim injured himself quite severely. So if you are a little bit squeamish, you might not want to look at this one, but we have got an Escort Cosworth that came into stock. Fantastic car, needs a little bit of sort of remedial work, which is normal for a car of a certain age and mileage. Although this is a particularly nice example, big turbo, low miles, low owners, lovely thing. Could Tim or I find a way of opening the bonnet on that car? No. And consequentially, that ended up with a bit of an injury of Tim. So the first fail of the week was the accident book that I bought as a result of having a new sponsor on board. We filled out the first page, and here's a clip of that.
Ow. Bloody hit myself in the face.
Oh, you're right. Accident book. Accident book.
Does this book mean I can't sue you now?
Correct.
Date and time reported, 8/17. Location.
Just towards the bottom of my nose.
Location. Escort. Person injured, Tim. Full name, I only know you as Tim. Address, Tim's house. Email address, Tim. Details of incident was using face as tool. What action was taken?
I was given a tiny little tissue off Alex.
So first aid then. First aid, no ambulance required?
No, I think he tried to call the fire engine.
First aid.
The fire officer.
Jump straight to conclude. Where's my hat? Which actions could have prevented the incident?
If it had an obvious bonnet release.
Obvious bonnet release. Poor design.
Poor design.
Form completed by Rob. Approved by Rob. So, we move on.
Right.
Anyway, you will be happy to know that Tim has indeed made a full recovery and the accident book will never be used again because we're now banned from having accidents in here. So, another fail was when we move cars around in here, it can be a little bit disjointed at best because if you're new to the channel, you might not have seen this dealership. We are quite crammed in, although it looks lovely, we are short on space. When you have to move cars around at the end of the day to get into the pub, it's sometimes a bit of a nightmare. Unfortunately, Alex took a little bit of unfair friendly fire this week when I truly believed that he'd stitched me up with the door, because we've got a bifold door on the detailing room. And this is what happened there.
Tell you what, do you want to hang on until we put some juice in them?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's to rain tomorrow.
Is it? Shock. Be good for the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawns will thank you.
Yeah.
I actually have those thoughts in summer.
That's sad, isn't
Yeah.
it? Well, I planted a couple of trees and then I was doing the rain dance, like, oh, come on. And then 3 weeks later, forgot to say this, one of them just fell over. Well, did a good job of that, didn't I? Are you ready? Door won't shut. Oh, for f***'s sake. Who shut this?
Alex, I think.
Did you shut this?
Oh, what do we do now, Alex? Oh, maybe that might shut the door.
You shut it.
I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
I thought you were joking.
I didn't shut this.
Did that work me?
Who were him?
No, I definitely did.
It was definitely Alex.
I've been holding the camera the whole time.
I'll
Just going to
second
throw it
that.
out there, mate. That might shut. Just try it. Oh, it shuts now.
Well done, Alex. Honestly.
You could strangle him, couldn't you? I was driving that, so I didn't shut it.
I will replay this and put it in.
Yeah, but I did the final cut, so good luck with that.
It's not a badge, it's an air freshener, actually. It looks like a badge.
Now, as you can imagine, Alex has revelled in the fact that Rob got it wrong and Tim got it wrong and he's not let it down. So what I did was I ended up punishing him on a road trip down to pick up the Abarth, which is now fixed, by the way. I'll mention that when we go through the wins. And I punished him by means of my music selection.
Told you all, I prove you wrong. Mr. Bombastic.
Are you embarrassed?
No.
Aroused?
Which I enjoyed. Anyway, other than that, fail-wise, nothing sort of major to mention. We've not had any big warranty claims or anything like that, which we're probably going to get now I've said that. However, we did have John round. John owns a Cobra specialist company to come and look at the Cobra that is unfortunately going to require quite a bit of work. If you're new to the channel again, you might not have seen that, but you can see it in these videos and these videos. I bought an AC Cobra replica that turns out to be a little bit of a dog. He came around to have a bit of a look at it with a nice cup of tea, and that is going to be going out to John very soon, because I know a lot of people have been asking what's going on with the AC Cobra, or the Cobra replica. We're getting there. So, this is John coming around and ripping my car apart.
Cheers, mate. Where's my crash at?
Them oil cooler parts are horrible, aren't they?
Hey, he's already on the upsell, isn't he?
It's expensive, that one. So what's your thoughts with it now then? You're obviously wanting to do it for a budget price, you know, you want to keep it as cheap as you can, don't you?
Yes. We did look at this big block situation, which I'm still like the idea of, but then, I mean, the brakes are just a bit,
Yeah,
how far are we having to go to get this big block in, and what's it ever going to be worth?
yeah.
Whereas-
That's the thing, you're going to be into negative equity, that's the problem.
Yeah.
because particularly if you put exhaust on it as well. And
What's your thoughts? You're the man for this,
yeah,
mate,
I mean,
so
there's going to be shards of brass or bronze in there anyway, so we're
Yeah.
going to have to get the oil pan off, so we might as well pull the engine
yeah,
and then put a different cam in it. It's your cheapest route to get a bit more power.
yeah. I think what we want is, like, that's your gears, there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you change your gear into your bloody steering wheel.
Right.
So that's a pig. Do we just make it a really, really nice example of a 3.9?
Yeah.
Rather than go,
Yeah,
let's throw all the money at a big engine and forget everything else.
Around that, we're putting a crank stick on it, you know.
Right, okay.
That would cure that problem, wouldn't it?
Not easy
So we're
enough
not
to do.
punching the steering wheel all the time.
Yeah. He just wants to be there.
Oh, it's a
doesn't he?
massive
Not
job.
bloody
It
there.
costs thousands, but
Pardon?
it's a massive job. It'll cost thousands.
Are you hearing this, Alex? You keep going quiet on me.
No. Handbrake wants a bit of adjusting. That's in the boot, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a little bit up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usually you've got to get your shoulder into it.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it could be a nice thing. I'd like to, you know, I know it sounds ridiculous, but just get some nice decals on it and stuff, and sort of de-chrome it and just make it cool. And like you said, this is sort of entry-level Cobra money, isn't it?
Yeah.
And which is where they tend to sell at the moment. So
Yeah.
every part of me wants to do a big stupid V8, but I think we could do that with something else another time
Yeah.
that's right for
Get
it.
something that's right for it, yeah. Get
Yeah.
something with a Chevy or a Ford in and you can do something.
And then go for it, yeah, exactly, rather than...
Because all the gearbox will be set up for it then, and the exhaust will probably be side pipes, and it's what
Yeah,
you
and
wanted.
you're on it, yeah. It'd be good to get it louder. It's not very loud.
Got a drill. Can drill an hole in your back box. Something.
Out of spirit.
Metaphorically
Good
speaking.
attitude. Sounds reading between the lines there, got excited. But get it cammed up, get it running right, get that gearbox sorted out, get it sitting right,
Yeah, and get that back end sorted.
get the back end sorted, get some nice decals on it and get it louder.
Yeah.
And for 500 quid, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. So you don't want me to work on it when it gets to my place then?
Is that just recovery fee?
Yeah, I get that geometry right as well. It's listing at that back.
It is, it's yeah.
Terrible.
It's got a wonky back end.
I know how it feels.
Comes with age, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, yeah. You're younger than me, I
Yeah,
think.
go on, it's already out. I think. Ouch. Just selling cars just here. Knackered. But even just stuff like the doors, just
Oh yeah, they're a bit
got a bit in them, haven't they?
out of plastic, aren't they? Chocolate.
But if you give it a slam quickly, gosh, done. And these are obviously from mother sideboard.
They rattle, don't roll as well.
I didn't go fast enough to get them rattling, mate. But no, cool. Okay. Well, thanks for coming in, mate.
No problem at all.
Yeah, and we'll get it.
We'll get something sorted with it, yeah.
Lovely.
Get there.
So you could see that as a victory or see it as a fail, whichever way you want to look at it, but that car is going to be rather expensive to put right. But I genuinely think he's on the right path there with doing the job how he's suggesting we do it. Get that Rover V8 cammed up, lovely, running right, sounding right and looking good. And then we will hopefully sell it coming into summer. So there has been some good stuff that has happened over the last week, and we have bought some cars and sold some cars. So obviously I've mentioned the Cosworth, that's coming to stock, but we've also bought a few other cars, some nice stuff as well. Let me just remind myself of that. We've bought a Golf GTD off a subscriber who was meant to be part of exchanging it into a main dealer, and they said that they're just going to throw the car into auction, so we brought it down for me to buy instead. And mate, I really appreciate it. Lovely car, now live on the website, basically needed its wheels refurbing, and that is it. Lovely car. We've also bought another RS6, and the reason we bought another RS6 is it's from a subscriber and it was lovely, but it was replacing an RS6 we already have in, which is now sold, which I'm going to go into in the sold cars in just a second. We've also got a Mustang that's turned up, 5-litre V8, that's now here. We're going to be doing a review of that in the next week or so. And also we've got a Porsche Macan that's finally gone through the process, and we have had a couple of emails on that. I'm going to reply to them now, so you should have emails back on that car before this video lands on Saturday. Cars that we've sold. Finally, we're moving a bit of metal again. We've sold the blue RS6 that has been in stock for a little while. The guy actually saw the YouTube videos. The nicest of customers you could not have asked for. Genuine. I know I say that quite a bit, but we're quite lucky here. We get some decent people in. So, Will, mate, enjoy the car. 25 years old, that man, buying an RS6. I could be wrong there, it might be 24. And he's just decided, you live once, I'm going to enjoy it. And he's buying this, and he's hopefully going to do some road trips in it over to the Alps and all that sort of stuff in Italy, I think he was talking about. So, Will, if you do that, please send us some photographs. We'd love to see it. Fantastic car, gone to a lovely customer. Did him a bit of a deal, but you know what it is. When the deal feels right, you do it. Congratulations on that. We've also taken a deposit on the Audi S4 that we bought from James, and we have taken a deposit, actually we've taken full payment on the E53 AMG. Again, gone to a subscriber, saw the video, said I'll give you all the money for that car. One thing I do ask is that you deliver it to Norfolk for free. Fair. So that car is going out this week to another happy subscriber. So yeah, I know we've had some fails, but it's been fairly positive overall. And speaking of wins, there's been some really cool victories here, and this is what I love about YouTube and the car business, kind of working hand in hand. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the mini raffle again, because if you don't know, we were raffling a mini off for a QUID, and we're going to be making a donation to, sadly, a subscriber that is struggling a little bit, terminal with prostate cancer, so we can take him and his missus away. Now, obviously, if you don't know about the raffle, there's a link in the description below. It's £1 a ticket, massively undersold, etc., etc. However, this is the exciting thing. This is an original drawing of the Mini when they changed the shape from the classic Mini to kind of the newer one. And the guy that designed this is a guy called Frank Stevenson. If you don't know who he is, if you know about Drive Tribe, he's going to be one of the people on Drive Tribe. So he's like a big guy in the industry. He actually, funnily enough, also designed the Escort Cosworth. Now, he found out what we were doing, and he has signed one of the original drawings. We've got a photo of him here holding it, so you know it's actually him. He signed 2 of these, one of which I'm going to be keeping, and one of which we're actually going to be giving away with the raffle. So that is going to be coming with the car. I'm actually going to see whether or not he can do one for the winner. So how amazing is that, that this little channel is kind of a bit of a ripple effect, and for people like that with that sort of credibility to want to get involved and do something. So genuinely feel rather blessed by that. So that'll be going with the car. If you're going to buy a ticket, there's a link in the description below. So Mr. Stevenson, Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. It'd be great to get you on the channel at some point, by the way. Plug. Other good things that have happened. So the Abarth is now fixed. If you've not seen the video, it dropped on Thursday. That was a very, very expensive repair, although a lot cheaper than it could have been because we had a fantastic guy called Drew, who owns an Abarth specialist down in Huddersfield, who came and picked it up and managed to diagnose a problem that we would have spent weeks trying to work it out. So that car's finally landed back up, and there is not a lot in the way of profit left on it, but it looks like we might wipe our face and get out of it. It's just car sales for you, isn't it? Other positives is my little boy Ralph is nearly a year old. He's finally getting to a point where he's likeable, because for a while it's like they're born a bit too early, isn't it? They just sort of scream and dribble and trump and poo. However, he's now getting to a point where he's starting to react to stuff, and I thought with that Mustang coming into stock, what I'd do is take it home and just try him out in it, in the car, and just see whether or not the sound of a V8 with a nice exhaust on it makes him cry. And I am happy to announce that it would appear we've got another petrol head in the family. And this is Ralph's reaction. Not crying, note.
Mustang? Ralph, you like Mustang? You ready?
So yeah, absolute result. So a massive thank you as usual for everyone who's watching the content. We're obviously loving it. We've got loads of interesting stuff coming on next week. I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler for you, but we have gone to look at this car for a friend. Yeah, that is the state of his car, which unfortunately has had a massive problem with it, as you can see from the footage, and has resulted in Jaguar Land Rover wanting absolutely nothing to do with it. So there's a video on that coming next week, which is really, really interesting. And I think we might have just opened up a can of worms here, because that appears to be a problem that not just this customer has been faced with. So that's coming to you next week. Lots of other stuff as well. And also want to say a massive thank you to the subscribers that have been popping in again on this mini raffle side of things and making donations. We're now up to £500 outside of what the Mini makes towards giving this sort of respite for Keith and his lovely lady. So thank you again, absolute credit to humanity. A lot of people that watch this channel, so massive thank you. Final positive note I'd like to end on before we close is, if you don't watch a YouTube channel called Road to Success, there's a guy called Ben that runs this. Is a really, really switched on guy who's obviously very successful very early on in life, and a massive credit to himself. He had a guy on called Mike Brewer. If you don't know who Mike Brewer is, you are not a proper petrol head, because he is the hold out your hand, wheeler dealers, the guy that is just all over everything when it comes to used cars. He was asked on this podcast what channels he liked to watch on YouTube, and he said,
I love watching all the YouTube content as well. You know, I love watching Matt's stuff. I love watching Tavarish. He's a really, really big mate of mine, Tavarish. Absolutely love him to bits. Love watching Alex, you know, and Alex and what he's creating with his nonsense that he does online with Taylor. Love watching you. I love watching Calvin. Love watching the Logbook. Yeah, I watch that all the time.
For a little YouTube channel that just makes videos about a car dealership in the background, the ups, the downs, and all the things in between, massive, massive praise from who has been genuinely a bit of an idol for me growing up, because I think he's just a sound bloke. So if you're watching, Mr. Brewer, because you say you do, thank you for that, mate. Really appreciate it. And it'd be lovely to maybe do something in the future, because you're the guy who I'd like to have a nice chat with. Maybe have a brew with Brewer, something along those lines. So there you go, that's a roundup of the week. Final bit of industry news as promised, the Mustang EV, the Ford EV, E-Mustang, whatever it's called, you know me, not into electric cars, have apparently announced you've got a boot in one of these, or a frunk. So it's like your bonnet that opens and you can put your satchels in there and your lunchbox or whatever. Apparently, and this has come from a few different sources now, all of these cars are going to be fitted with a frunk or a boot. And if you'd like to access it, you can pay them $495. They are making, it would appear, a boot an optional extra, which isn't that just a sign of the bloody times? So thank you for that, Ford. Made the first car, and you're the first person to start absolutely stuffing us on ridiculous optional extras. And that's not including BMW, because they're pretty bad. Anyway, there you have it. Roundup of the week. Thank you for joining me once again. Lots of entertaining stuff coming, I'm sure. If you've not already subscribed, please do. If you know a friend that might enjoy the channel, please share our content. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers.